Hey, what's up YouTube? SharpNoBoy here. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We got a bit of a juicy story here for you. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, there was an event out in UK. A Tekken tournament, which you're going to be seeing quite a few clips of me playing this game for relative purposes. But that's not what I'm talking about this video. What I'm talking about in this video is what happened at that event. Now, for those of you who are not aware, there's an activist group by the name of Just Stop Oil. And what... Wait, hold on a second. I just got interrupted for a little bit. Yeah, I just got a random notification. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. What ended up happening at this event is that Just Stop Oil, the activist group... Before I get into what they did, let me just explain the whole activism thing. What activism is, you're protesting against something. And for Just Stop Oil, they are protesting against big oil companies. Which, you know, to be honest, fair play. Oil companies can be kind of evil sometimes. Like, for example, you see, I'm pretty sure some of you have seen those Dawn commercials where they have the duck that is just covered in oil and they use the Dawn dish soap to clean the duck off. I'm pretty sure you've all seen that commercial. I've seen it 100 times. I'm pretty sure you've seen it 100 times. Most of us have probably heard of it by now. And at this particular event, at this particular Tekken tournament, the Just Stop Oil Activision group showed up. Not a very big group of activists, just like 3 people. But what they did at this event was... In case you're not aware, there's a video clip circulating on the internet right now where these people, like, interrupt a tournament. Not just a tournament. We're in winners finals at this tournament, by the way. You can actually look at this clip. And when it comes to a winners finals tournament in any given tournament, whether it's Tekken, Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat, etc., a winners finals set is a pretty big deal. And for some reason, these people decided to wait until that particular moment to do what they did. I tried to download the clip and put it onto my PS4 system here so that I can show you here in Share Factory, but for some reason, it did not register as the designated video file, so I'll have to link the video in the description below so that you can check it out for yourself. But that's not going to stop me from telling you what happened. What they did is that they got up onto the stage, bringing paint guns, and not only did they interrupt the tournament, they actually spread paint all over the monitors and actually used a spray gun to spray the giant monitor. Now, it's one thing to interrupt an event. Like, the event wasn't actually very big. Like, there was only like a handful of people out there, maybe like, I don't know, like 50, 60 people. I don't know, I don't have all the details. I just know that it wasn't a very, very big event. It wasn't the biggest event out there. But a number of big-name players were at that event. Some of them were commenting, like Spag, Gosane, and there were other number of key noteworthy players that I believe were at that event at the time. I don't know. I might be wrong on this. But I do remember that Spag and Gosane were commenting at the time. And when they saw what these people were doing, they were like, wait, what the heck is going on? And I saw this clip myself because a friend of mine actually brought it up with me on Discord, and I was thinking to myself, wait, did that really happen? So I looked it up, I saw a couple of videos on it, and I was like, well, they actually did this. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's one thing to protest something. That's all fine and dandy. Whatever you want to protest, that's all on you. Because here in the States, and I believe in the UK, it is actually legal to protest something. In fact, here in the States, it is a legal right, so long as you're not actively trying to hurt anybody. I don't know if it's legal anywhere else, because I know laws differ from one country to another. But these guys decided to show up at an esports event of all things to protest against big oil companies. And I actually brought this up in a few Tekken Discords, because I am in multiple Tekken Discords, actually. Like Ochoto, Main Man, K-Wiz Discord. And one Elisa Discord, where I asked people what they thought about this whole thing. And there was actually one guy in the Discord, I don't want to mention his name for the sake of, you know, protecting anonymity. But they were at that event. And their thoughts were pretty similar to mine. They thought it was like really, really disgusting and very, very heavy. And I'm thinking, look, here's how I look at the situation, right? Because it's one thing to protest against something. I'm all for it. I don't care. Whatever you want to protest, anything you don't like, you have the right to protest against it, whatever it is. It's one thing to protest against something, but it is another thing entirely to show up at some event where there's a winner's final set going on, interrupting it, vandalizing the equipment, just to make your announcement and tell people who you are. I'm like, really? I understand that you want to make a statement. I get that. I got no problem with it. But there's a time and place to do stuff like that. Like, these people could have picked any other location to make their protest, to make their statement. They could have showed up at any one of the places that they were protesting against. Because we do have oil companies here in the States, and I'm pretty sure that there are some oil companies out there in the UK. I know there are. I don't know what sort of oil companies are out there in the UK, but again, these people, instead of showing up at the door of one of these big oil tech companies or whatever, showing up at that door screaming, hey, we don't like what you're doing, we would like to ask you to stop, they instead show up to a gaming event and interrupt a tournament to make their statement. Like, why? Like, look, I understand that you have problems with big oil. I get it. But showing up at a live esports event, and this was being live streamed on Twitch, by the way, and hundreds, if not thousands of people saw you do this. And there's also images circulating around Twitter where these people, like, they somehow got past security at that event, by the way. Which to me is even more bizarre, because that says to me that security is like, they don't really think about stuff like that. Like, they didn't really see, like, my guess is they didn't really see these people as much of a threat, which is why they just decided to let him get in. And when they did decide to go up on the stage, security was like, hey, you can't be doing this, we're going to escort you out of the building. We're going to escort you out of here. And they were promptly arrested for this, by the way. Rightfully so. And good job on the security at the event on their part for doing that. Which brings up a question that I have. I know esports events aren't the biggest things in the world. I get that. Being a Tekken player myself and being a fighting game player myself, or just, playing video games in general, I know esports aren't exactly the biggest events in the world, and therefore you don't need a whole lot of security just to keep the place safe. And I don't know what venue they were playing at. I didn't look into it. I wasn't looking into that far. And it's probably confidential information anyway. I'm not entirely sure. But one thing is clear. These people were there to make a statement, and, well, they did make a statement. But they went about it the wrong way. And I actually saw an Optimus video. I think it was an Optimus video. It was either Optimus or someone else. I can't quite remember. But the individual was saying the same thing. Time and place for everything. And that also applies here. Now, there aren't any new developments regarding this situation. But the fact that it happened in the first place just blows my mind. Like, you could have showed up to any other place. You could have just, like they were protesting against oil companies. They could have showed up to one of their doors and did this protest. Why an esports event of all things? I don't get it. It's just very, very bizarre to me. And if I sound like I'm extremely angry about this, I'm not actually angry, even though I sound like it. I'm just very, very confused and annoyed of anything else. Like, it was just such a wild and bizarre situation that actually happened. But it has been a few days, almost a week, I believe, as of recording this video, since that happened. And if there are any new developments that come out of this, I'll probably report on it too. So yeah, this was just something that was brought to my attention and I wanted to talk about it. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this because I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. Anyways, if there are any new developments, like I said, on this whole situation, I'll probably cover that as well and give you an update if something does happen regarding this. So with that said, I'm just going to close out this video by saying there's a time and place for everything here, folks. Whether it's an esports event, a protest, or some big promotion, there's a time and place for everything. These guys, I don't know what they were thinking, but they very obviously got in trouble for it. Anyways, hopefully I don't have to make another video like this in the future. But, you know, that's not a guarantee. But I hope you learned something, and I hope this video was informative. I probably glossed over a couple of other details about the whole situation. Maybe I missed something. Or that I glossed over something entirely that I missed. If anybody else knows any more details about the situation, feel free to let me know in the comments. But that's going to do it for this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.